Hey folks, so I figured I'd pop in. I'm gonna get started on the next set of activities for the car. I want to give a little bit of background on yours truly. So I have ADHD, which if you know someone with ADHD, you know that we tend to start new and interesting projects with a lot of gusto, and then things peter out relatively quickly. I have an office downstairs that has been halfway drywalled for the last year, so this is nothing new for me, but I do have a goal to try and get this car drivable, by fall. So I've come up with a few tricks over the years for myself that tend to work. So what tends to work pretty well is if my space is organized, it's a little easier for me to at least initiate, to start the process. And the space around the car has gotten pretty messy. So figure I'm gonna clean up as best as I can. And then the next is just start something, even if it's small. That tends to get me moving. Back when I was writing papers, somebody kind of gave me that idea with just sit down and start typing. Doesn't matter what you type. You could be the same word over and over again, but the act of sitting down and starting to type gets you going. It tends to work for me, not all the time, but often enough that that's what we're going to try and do here. So I'll get the space cleaned up, won't make you sit through that much, and then I'll just get started on something. It might be, lifting the car up, it might be removing some of the panels underneath, but as long as I can get this thing moving again, we'll keep it going. Actually, I think what I'm going to try and do here is clear out some of this. So, as mentioned, I don't have a lot of space. So what's ended up happening is I've got a lot of stuff that's spread out, a lot of parts and pieces, and it's just creating clutter. And so to help alleviate some of that, I'm going to try and move things that I know I'm not going to need right away down into a space that I have in the house, in the weight room actually. So we'll move some things. Hopefully I don't get in trouble with the family for taking up all the space, but I need more out here, so we'll do what I can. Hey folks, back. It's a new day. Wasn't able to sleep last night. Brain just wouldn't turn off. So I came out and I worked on the garage. I think I got it to a point where I have plenty of space to keep working on things. All right, so I did move the car over a little. Got some space behind the engine there, so hopefully I can work on the AC without having to move it again. Lifted the car up a little bit more than it was. It's on those, I think Esco flat top jack stands. I really like those. They're sturdy. Cleaned out the front here. I can move some more stuff if needed when I'm working on that steering rack. And the side is looking pretty good too. So, as I mentioned on the video earlier, I'm just going to get started on something, hopefully just keep making progress. I figure what I'm going to do is actually start working on the steering rack and maybe the AC area, so I'm going to have to start taking things off the bottom of the car. I don't know if y'all have experience with 993s. Let's see here. But underneath, even though it is 1996, it's just a flat bottom car, which is pretty slick. No pun intended. But so I've got to remove some panels down here and see what's going on with the steering rack. There's definitely oil on the ground there, so figure out what's going on there and let's get to work. All right, so I have the lower dash piece from Rinline here. I was going to see how it fits with the vent. It goes in really tight here, so and the vent would go like so. I think that's how it goes, like that. It might work. Yeah. Yeah. I still might put in the original piece there if I can find it, but barring that, I think I can get that to work. As long as I don't break the vent. Just show me I need to buy this piece. But I've already found a place online that has that. I just need to order it. So order just this whole section. I think it's just glued on there. Once again, I'm not entirely sure the best way to do what I'm about to do. So we'll try this. If it doesn't work, we'll figure something else out. Hey, that looks pretty good. I'll show you. Do that to the other side. Work on this guy. I think this will turn out just fine. Alright, so there's that. I figure I'll just leave this plate because, I mean, why not? It'll be under the carpet. And then over on that side, you see how it was. So next, I'll work on this guy. See how that goes. Of course, that one I might cut down a little bit more because I don't want to have to grind through more than I have to. So let's get this set back up. Come around to the other side here. Wait. There's not a lot of space in this car. Alright, here we go. Sorry, camera, if this sprays you with sparks. Yep, I'll leave it there for now. I don't want to dig into the actual pipe very much, so it'll be good for now. Let's see. We switch this out to 40, or this is 40. Let's see what else I got. I got this, and I also got a 60, so let's play around. There you go. I'll actually just leave that, go to a even lower grit, smooth it out, all good. Well, paint it, of course, but it worked out pretty good. To the other side, I suppose. Actually, I lied. I found this 80. Let me hit it with the 80 while I'm over here. That's pretty hot, but it looks pretty good too. All right, switch sides, do some more. Bellissimo, I think that's how you say it. Beautiful. All right. Oh, this bad boy. What do I want to do with you? So I have way more cutting discs than I do grinding discs. So we're going to try to cut, even if I don't have super good luck with cutting discs, at least on this project. That's all right. Can't be a scourge. It's just a finger ring. Use the thicker gloves. Get it on. Yeah, that worked out great. See? Pays is just to get right back on that horse. Oh man. Yeah. Tempting fate right there. It would have been pretty ironic, I guess. I don't know. Say something about not getting hurt and turn around and just get yourself hurt. Murphy's Law. I don't know. Alright. Back to grinding. I'm going to get that new 40 though. Yeah, this little grinder from, or ankle grinder from Harbor Freight. Been a good purchase. It's worked out pretty well. I find you usually, sometimes you luck out with Harbor Freight. You get a tool that actually lasts for a while. Saves you some money. Sometimes it breaks first time you use it. Alright. Grindy time. Let's do this stuff. Alright. I do think that'll be done for, well, at least this section. That'll be good for today. Oh, I've got the corners. No, let's show you what it looks like. Because it's good to take breaks, right? So we've got that section. There's the bar, right? We've got that bar done. That section. But I just remembered we got those bad boys. So I suppose I will probably go drink some water and then come back, tackle those. Seems reasonable. Alright, hopefully I'm reasonably in frame here. We'll try to do this without you guys looking at my backside the entire time, but we'll see. The camera angle is a little bit weird. Do what we can. It's something. Yoink. Well, I think it's about time to get cleaned up for dinner. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for a bit and then maybe keep working on grinding those corners. It's going to take a while with the tool I'm using right now. I don't have a lot of low grit sandpaper for those, so I'll do the best I can, and see you again soon. Okay, we're back, and I'm gonna work on the cage again here today, try to get this finished up, and then see what the day brings. Alright, let's get started. Yar. Holding this up, I mean, it's not super heavy, but after a while, jeez. Just keep grinding, just keep grinding. Here, come over here. Alright, so I'm going to save you the pain of fast forwarding through all of this grinding. I'm just going to turn on some music and get it done. Hopefully nothing interesting happens while I'm doing that, because I'm not going to have it filming. But if it does, so be it. I'll tell you about it later. Alright, thanks guys. Alright, so I got some grinding done. It's actually looking pretty good. I need to wait for the battery to recharge on the little handheld, so while I let that charge, I'm going to look up how to remove the steering rack, maybe get started on that, so show you where we're at real quick. So inside cage, this is where the door bar connected, and then down to here, and then the corner is what I'm working on, which is getting pretty close, and then the other corner is looking pretty good. I'm going to drop down to a lower grit next, other sidebar, and then if we go to the corner there. So it's looking, like I said, it's looking pretty good. Just keep working on it, and then I might try a few different things for paint, but go from there. Thanks. Alright folks, so I'm switching gears a little bit here while the battery charges up. I figured I'll start on the steering rack since I've been avoiding it for a while. I don't have the procedures printed out, so I went ahead and brought up my laptop, set up a screen, and now I can just have the DIY instructions right there and follow through. And part of the problem is the car's taken too far apart, I guess. So one of the first things it wants me to do is mess with the steering wheel, so I will get this back on just enough that I can go through the instructions and then hopefully at least get the steering rack started to get pulled out. Maybe once I get started it'll be interesting and I'll keep going. So here we go. I did go ahead and I cleaned out the car, or vacuumed it out. It was getting pretty dusty with all the stuff from grinding. So there we go. Go. Let's make sure this is looking right. So that's there. I think that's not quite right. So, because I made sure it was straight before I took everything apart. Some decent foresight there. Yeah, I think it's that spline right there. Yep, okay, so we'll stick this guy on. Make sure it doesn't go anywhere. So no, you're not going to believe this, but I got sidetracked. I was starting to work on the steering wheel here to work on the steering rack, and I saw that the battery for the grinder was, or the sander was full, so I started working on that again. But it looks pretty dang good. So what we got, I gotta change the, actually, well, that was fun. The, must have hit the button on accident. Anyway, here's the other side. It's pretty much done. There's a little bit of a gap here. That's just because of the weld from the other one. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep grinding on that. Maybe I'll just leave it, or I might fill it in with some more weld. Down here, same as the other side, and then similar to the front on the other side, we've got the attachment point here. That one I still need to grind down a little bit, and then up here. And there's a little bit of like fine tuning on that corner that I might do. Probably going to practice on some thinner sheet metal, or practice welding on some thinner sheet metal, just to make sure I don't mess it up. It's been a while, so yeah. And the battery is dead. That's why I'm back on camera. So what I'll do next is, I guess, go back to the steering rack, work on that until the battery's full, and I'll finish grinding out those. I figure I have enough film of me grinding away at things that you guys will get the point, right? So, yeah. I just keep on keeping on. All right, we're back. Steering rack time. Get this steering wheel on here. Alright, so here I'm starting to look at the steering rack and making a comment about how I'm using heim joints for my tie rods, and that gives me a pretty distinct advantage when taking apart all of this stuff. Is I can pull that apart and put it back together, and the alignment stays pretty close to where it was when I took it apart. Alright, going to speed this next section up a bit. I sat playing with this tie rod for quite a while, went back and forth with the instructions, trying to figure out exactly how to get to do what I needed to do. There are two 19mm wrenches needed, and the front subframe is like in the way to actually get the 19mm on the tie rod end. So eventually I figured out that I could use a crow's foot and get it in there the best I could. Ended up only using one wrench, which, taking it apart, worked just fine. But when I go to put this thing back together, it's probably going to cause me some grief. I didn't record taking the tie rod out of the steering rack on the driver's side here. I had missed that part. But here's the end result, and one tie rod. For side 2, went pretty quickly. I spent all the time figuring out side 1. So this is a passenger side. I just pull out the crow foot, do what needed to be done, unscrew the tie rod, and all done. Hey guys, so made a slight error. I've been working on trying different things with the audio, so that's why I'm wearing this Bluetooth headphone. I'm actually using it as a wireless mic to my phone. Most of the footage from today doesn't have any audio because I didn't check to make sure that the connection was working. One problem with these, so these are Beats, Power Beats Pro or something like that. And they're great, except the right ear doesn't want to stay connected. So that's an issue. I'll try to solve that in the next one. So bear with me. Sorry about it. It is what it is. Thanks, guys. All right. Thanks, folks. So in this video, worked on the roll cage, got that pretty much dialed in. I think I'm probably going to end up doing like some like glazing putty, something really thin to smooth out the cage, and then I'll work on painting that, and then got the tie rods out of the steering rack and sort of going towards that direction on what I'm working on. Other things that are going to be coming up are getting the AC reinstalled. I'm thinking take off the super cups. They're really pretty dang loud and don't quite fit the vibe I'm going with this car. So I'm thinking like Fisher, however you say it, stage 2 in like the ceramic black would look really nice given the wheels that I have on there. So we'll do that. I've lost track of the conversation for the headliner, so I'm going to try to get that sorted this week. And yeah, everything's kind of falling in line. It's just taking a lot longer than I had originally hoped. But that was, whenever I start a project, I always think, oh, this is going to get done in like 2 months or something like that. And it's not. Whatever happens, there's always delays. So in the last month, I was in New York. I went to Vegas. My oldest daughter's going to college, so we took her up to her school. And so things like that happen. But I'll try to keep posting these videos, updating as frequently as I can. Hopefully it won't be like a whole month like this last one between videos. But yeah, I'm shooting for one a week, one every couple of weeks at the most. So we'll see how it goes. Thanks for following along. Like and subscribe, I think I'm supposed to say. Helps some algorithms. I don't know. Cool. Thanks a lot. Talk to you later. Peace.